you know, but you never see Jason Todd working alongside Bruce.
I love the way Batman films are. I love a good independent Batman film. Like, The Batman is a perfect example of them rebooting the name of The Batman.
Yeah.
And making it compelling. He is a very great solo act. Cannot deny that.
Yep.
Cheers, brother.
Arkham Asylum, dude.
Love it. Very beautiful, very pretty. I love the green highlights to it. Like, the world... okay, I'm
looks
gushing
better than some games today.
It does.
Look at the fucking rain on his mask.
I love that everything is like steeped in this green kind of highlight to show like the Joker's infection of over the place, bro. It's beautiful, 100%. But going back onto what I was saying was that like I feel like it's really hard to translate Robin to film. I feel like there's a struggle because what good piece of media have we gotten that was not animated has involved Robin being in it? We haven't.
Yeah. It's either besides obviously Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which truth be told, I didn't mind Robin in Batman Forever. His Dick Grayson's introduction where you find out his parents die. It wasn't from Two-Face though, if I remember correctly, from the comics. But they do that in that film. I still think that wasn't too bad. It was real campy. It was real cheesy. But when I was a kid, it got the point across. And I liked his character, and I thought that was a cool introduction to Robin. And in general, Nightwing is one of my favorite characters. I actually would argue that I like Nightwing more than Batman. Personally, I think Dick Grayson's character arc in total, where he starts out from a circus, becomes the protege of Batman, so to speak, and then goes off and does his own thing, and Bloodhaven, and his suit's cool. I just think Dick Grayson's fucking awesome.
I plugged this last time, but if you guys want to get into comic books at all, and like maybe you don't feel like buying them, a great place to visit is Comic Storian. That's my favorite YouTube channel to visit.
That to me.
Yeah, like listen to them all day at work.
Well and truly buried.
Yeah, I'm listening to a Batman story right now. I'm listening to some Titan stories. Like, I'm listening to a whole bunch of stuff on that. That is how I keep up and get current on comics. It's great. I love it. They do full stories, which are like, can be anywhere from like an hour and a half to like 5 or 6 or 8 hours long. I'm just like, dude.
Dude, you know what I would love? We didn't talk about this last time, but just a new thing to kind of
We didn't talk about this
We've talked about, well, the Wolverine podcast that you and I are really into. Which, by the way, there's a podcast out there that's kind of like
Wolverine the Long Night and Wolverine the Lost Trail.
Yeah, and they're both kind of episodic in a way. There's multiple episodes of this podcast, but they're described almost like an Audible book in a way where they kind of paint the scene for you and everything like that.
It's an audio drama
it's
for those
fucking
of you that
awesome.
don't know.
You guys should check it out. But I would love that for some Batman stories, dude.
I would love that for Batman, and I would love that for like the bigger X-Men mythos of like, and like I've talked to you about this. I don't know if I said this on the recording, but of get it, follow mutants that are on the run. Where the biggest like overlooming threat is the Mutant Registration Act. Get like get the Mutant Diaries. Like you're following different characters, maybe every episode, maybe every couple episodes. Follow the journey, what they're going through, how they're being hunted down potentially by the Sentinel program. I would love that.
Me too.
I would love that.
Just a side note. Sorry, guys, if we're not talking about
the game at all.
The game, because I've been just picking up riddles and shit. But you have to understand, we were reading all the character bios the last time. We were picking up all the riddles. I was telling Brad where they're all at. We were doing all that. So that's going to come once we get past the point that we've already played. So we're kind of just going to sit here and ramble, which I really don't mind doing at all. I'm just explaining to them. That's why we're just kind of just rolling through it and bullshitting, pretty much podcasting over this game, which
that's exactly
if you guys want us to keep doing that, we can absolutely keep doing that. I don't mind doing it. But
dude, you can keep the controller for all I care for right now.
I just wanted to explain that's why we're not talking about like what I'm doing. I'm picking up the riddles and we're just kind of skipping the fucking... We're kind of skipping the character bios, so I apologize for that. But continue. You were talking about the X-Men, deeper X-Men mythos, and
yeah, like I really loved how they did that Wolverine series. That was amazing, bro. Like it didn't necessarily follow Wolverine initially. It followed him more in the second season, which there's 2 seasons for those of you that don't know. It wraps up lovingly. I would say it's a full and complete story.
I think I like the Long Night more.
I do, but
I'd have to listen to Lost Trail again.
Lost Trail, like you really get the sense of atmosphere that it is in like.
Is that the one that's in the bayou?
Yeah, it is in the bayou.
Louisiana or whatever.
And dude, they mastered those. The editing on that is so good. The vocal recording, like it sounds like it's being recorded on scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely incredible. Big fan. If you guys have not listened to it, please listen to it. It's so good.
They're super good. I would like
more things done like that. Absolutely amazing.
You know, the more I think about it, I think that's kind of why Venom is like the more popular character in Spider-Man 2, is because if you think about it, Venom is just like the opposite version of Spider-Man, right? Just like Joker is the opposite version of Batman. As far as personality types go, I mean, obviously, it's not like he's like, it's not Batman and Catman, you know? But like
Peter Parker's very smart, but Venom is dumb as shit.
But like Venom it kind of looks like a more evil version of Spider-Man.
Sure.
They both have like this alternate personality kind of thing going on.
I hate to beat this word to death, but the word is duality. Like there is a duality between the Joker and Batman that I don't get that sense of from Spider-Man and Venom. Like it is very much a case of like either could have gone down either path. Like I don't know. Like I don't get that sense. Like I think Batman's villains are way more compelling than Spider-Man's. That might be a hot take, and maybe I'm just thinking of like.
I just got to think about it. No, I don't think you're wrong.
Because what do you got? What do you have? You have Venom. You have Goblin. You have Doc Ock, which all are great villains.
I don't know, man. They both have really strong villains. Doc Ock is a really strong villain.
Doc Ock is a great villain.
Venom is a strong villain. I think Hobgoblin is a strong villain. I think Green Goblin is a strong villain.
I think it is the way that Batman films and Batman media has his villains bring out that side of Batman.
I think on film,
what they bring out of Batman is what's important.
Sure, I think on film they're done better on film, but I mean, I just think if we're talking strictly the characters written,
I would even say comics.
Really?
I would actually even say comics.
I have to think about that. I don't know. Because I feel like Spider-Man does have a lot of strong villains. I think that's because I feel like that's kind of another reason why Spider-Man is the most popular Marvel character. Arguably, I mean, some people argue more, but I think Spider-Man is the most popular one, and I think it's because Spider-Man has great fucking villains. Like, same with Batman. Batman has great fucking villains.
My problem.
I think I like Batman more. Sorry, just quick.
No, that's you.
In general, I think I like Batman more because I think Batman's a more of an adult approach to the idea of a superhero. It's somewhat relatable. Because it's like anybody who had that amount of money could be this person. He doesn't have any powers or anything like that. Spider-Man's more relatable to the average.
He truly
15
is
to 25-year-old.
The Joe Schmo, if you will.
Yeah, I just think he's more relatable to the younger audience.
I think that's why people like Batman Beyond a lot, maybe over like Batman the Animated Series. I wouldn't say the majority of people do, but because Terry McGinnis is a more relatable character, he has real people problems. He's not just throwing money at all of his problems. Which I love Batman Beyond. I want more media of Batman Beyond. But I think I like the grittierness of Batman as a character.
I think as I've gotten older, as a kid, I'd say Spider-Man all day, but I think as I've gotten older, I think I like Batman more.
Spider-Man is very much more of the person-to-person problem of like one of the problems you always think of is like his balance between being Spider-Man and the sacrifices he makes. Love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah, I don't know what it is to me per se that specifically makes Batman more compelling, or maybe his story is more interesting. But, you know, I could tell you that I've definitely been listening to a lot more Batman stories than I have been Spider-Man. Like, it's always... The story theme of Spider-Man is always his sacrifice.
Well, yeah, and I think, you know... Not that I don't think Bruce's character has things that he sacrifices or that he feels like he has to mask, obviously. I think that's all Bruce's character is masking his pain of his parents. But, you know, it's not like he's struggling at all financially. He's struggling emotionally. I think Peter Parker's character is struggling in everything. I think that's what makes Peter more relatable too, is that you never really see Peter get the upper hand on anything in his life. Spider-Man gets the upper hand on everything. But Peter Parker is fucking getting, like, that's the thing I liked about 2018 Spider-Man, the video game, is like right off the bat, you see someone throw an eviction notice right under his door, and like right before he's about to take off and save the city. That's a perfect 5-second like visual description of what Spider-Man is, right? I mean, you can't sum it up better than that. It's like Peter Parker's life is falling apart, but Spider-Man kicks ass. I mean, I think the juxtaposition between the two personalities is what makes Spider-Man super interesting and makes him a hero.
So I'm a big fan. One of my favorite series for Spider-Man is 1994, Spider-Man the Animated Series. You know this. I know this. Maybe the audience knows this. Christopher Daniel Barnes, love him as a voice actor. Want to see him in more things. Want to see him as Spider-Man more. But my biggest criticism of that series is that, dude, they make it so blatant that Peter never catches a break. Like, he never has a moment where, like, things are going good.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like, he really just gets the shit beaten out of him as a character. Like, they should have given him, like, a couple more ups. Like, he gets, like, maybe, like, a little bit of time where he's doing okay, but it's just so brief, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm getting married to the love of my life, Mary Jane. Well, guess what, bitch? She knew water clone jutsu, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know this, Red, but you were literally made for me. I'm Hydro Man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, homie doesn't catch a break. Like, shit doesn't work out with him with Black Cat. Shit doesn't work out with him financially. Aunt May's struggling, bro. She can't make ends meet, bro. She's fucking a crack whore on the streets, bro, just to, like, pay the electricity bill. It's bad. Can't deliver us from evil. Finish it! Oh, my God.
Finish it, dude. And here's another thing. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I fucking love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I fucking love them, dude. I actually think they're great movies. Third one is okay, but I think Spider-Man 1 and 2 are really good movies. I really do. I think I like that Tobey Maguire's performance of Peter Parker is super awkward, and it's like you feel uncomfortable sometimes watching him interact with people, because I think that's weirdly relatable for some people. It's like it shows the aspect that Peter doesn't have his shit together. I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is meh, but I think he kills it as Peter Parker, and I think that's really the heart of the films. Huh?
Did your husband make that for you?
Yeah.
So
here's your change, and he throws a bag of fucking quarters, which, by the way, what bank has a vault of fucking quarters?
No,
Dude,
what bank has a vault of bags with the money symbol on
That's
them? Like,
literally
super cartoonish.
Literally what it was too, dude. But
Oh
I
my
fucking love
God.
those movies. I don't give a shit.
That's like straight out of the 80s, bro.
Yeah.
I can't tell
I'm supposed to go this way, or
what part of Tobey's Spider-Man is more prominent, because the thing is always the balance between how he is as Peter versus how he is as Spider-Man. Obviously, when he's Spider-Man, he's supposed to break out of a shell, which I think Tobey characterizes that okay. Tobey characterizes Peter as a fucking creeper, dude. He is lurking in the shadows with that camera, bro. He is truly something else. He's like, he's gonna masturbate to those
I get
photos.
that. I don't necessarily see it that way.
Mary Jane is not wearing a bra in that film, dude.
I think the relationship's fucking
nips.
weird and awkward. Don't get me wrong, but I like that it's weird and awkward. Is what I'm saying. It's the thing that I don't like about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Is I'm like, he's too fucking cool. Peter Parker's a fucking dork, and Tobey Maguire. No offense, I love you, Tobey, but you're a fucking dork. Like, that's the point. Like, I like that, dude. I don't know.
I would be okay with Garfield's Peter.
I think Garfield's Spider-Man's good.
I think his Spider-Man is great. My problem with Garfield's Peter, I would be more okay with it with his coolness, quote unquote coolness, if like there was a moment where like he forgot how much he loves science, and then like getting back into that, like he goes full nerd, like starts just like fully like investing himself in all things science again. Like,
yeah,
you don't get the sense that he's like truly a genius until like, you know, he had these moments where he's like, oh, I made these web shooters,
right.
Like it doesn't come across that he's a dork. Like he comes across as like a skater kid.
Right.
Oh my Batman. Oh my. Who's your favorite Batman?
Ooh.
Of course, non-animated, full live action.
Yeah, we're talking live action.
Because obviously the answer is going to be Conroy.
Yeah, obviously. If we're talking strictly the voice and just what Batman is, it's hands down Kevin Conroy. There's no fucking doubt.
Rest in peace to the absolute legend.
The fucking legend, dude. That's a tough one. I think I like Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne more, but I actually think I like Robert Pattinson's Batman more. I think Christian Bale goes a little over the top with you. It's a little over the top at times. I don't think it's bad. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I just think I like the more subtle approach to the different like Robert Pattinson did the voice too, but I think his approach to the voice was a lot less dramatic. But I think his Bruce Wayne's a little his Bruce Wayne's a little too emo for my taste.
Yeah, he definitely listens to like a bunch of 30 Seconds to Mars. I don't know.
What if I wanted to? That's just in his AirPod
So
as he's fucking
in my mouth.
Bury me.
So I like the fact that Bale really makes Bruce come across as the Mask, because that's always the thing. Like
For a second, I thought you were talking about Jim Carrey's The Mask.
No.
For a split second, I thought that was what you're saying. I see what you're saying, though.
So in the comics, like it's a meme a little bit, but like, you know, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman are all holding the lasso of truth, and it's just like, oh, like what are your guys' real names? Superman's like Clark Kent. Wonder Woman's like, oh, I'm Diana, Princess Diana or whatever, and Batman's like, oh, I'm Batman. Because to him, his perception of himself is like, Bruce Wayne's not who I am, Batman's who I am.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell who it was.
They obviously followed. The elevator appeared.
I just blinked on his name, the actor I was talking about.
Going to be okay here.
We'll be fine.
Christian Bale?
Yes, Christian Bale. It literally just happens to me sometimes. I'll be talking about an actor and then it'll just go.
You're good.
Christian Bale really has that come across where, like, you know, dude, Christian Bale's suffering just as much as any other Batman. Like, he still has a trauma. It's still there. It pollutes who he is, and very much in Begins. But in The Dark Knight, you know, or maybe even Begins, I don't remember which film it was, but he has the moment where, no, it was The Dark Knight, where he's with fucking two ladies on each shoulder, bro. He's swimming in the fucking pond or the fish tank or whatever the fuck it was, and like, he really personifies that billionaire playboy act. He pushes that up to, like, stray attention away from, like, there's no way this guy could be the Batman. He's a fucking playboy. He's an idiot. He's a drunk. Like,
right, it's
like,
more believable.
Yeah, he amps that up. And Pattinson's fine. I like that they're approaching the trauma of, like, kind of pushing his motivations a bit more, I guess. But Begins does that, and I don't know. Begins does that without making Bruce edgy. Like, it does that, but it gives him a clear goal and a clear idea of who he needs to be, the path he needs to pursue.
It felt like they started this trilogy, because I think it's going to be a trilogy, this new one with Pattinson. But it feels like they started his Bruce Wayne where Bale's ended. Because The Dark Knight Rises, his Bruce Wayne was reclused. He'd been in hiding, and he was wounded, and he wasn't emo, but he was reclused, you know? And it feels like that's how they started this trilogy, with Bruce Wayne reclused.
I mean, okay, so you can argue that...
Maybe they'll just go the other direction.
maybe Bruce did have that moment of edginess, because when he's talking to Falcone, like, you get the whole segment, which is a great segment when he talks to Falcone, of like, you know, Bruce is like, oh, I'm not afraid of you, I'm not afraid to die, I'm not afraid of if you have a gun. It's like, and then Falcone says to him, is like, you know, you think you're not afraid because you think you have nothing to lose, but it's people like you that have so much to lose. Great moment. Love that. And that is a huge shifting point of, like, you know, one of my problems with Begins, but it's also a very strong point in Begins, is that it beats you over the head with the theme of fear, which oh my, the theme of fear, like, permeates that entire film.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta do this one first. My bad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think it almost pushes that a little bit too much, just like slightly. But I also like it because you have the theme of, like, okay, this is who Batman needs to be become effective.
The fuck? God damn it.
Like, Falcone talks about fear. The main antagonist, one of the main antagonists, which is Scarecrow, literally fear. Like, it really pushes that message home. Maybe even too much to some point, but I digress, I suppose.
Yeah. I get that.
I like.
So overall, which Batman do you like more?
It might be Bale. I think it has to be.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I think it's.
I really don't.
While it may be the safe pick, I think it's the right pick. He gets across all the parts that I want from Batman. Like, he does go into his, like, darker phase of, like, and then he, like, flips the script where Bruce is the mask. His Batman's really good. And I like it. There's a lot to unpack there. The way the movies are written